While so many people are, making honest efforts to help out others during this coronavirus pandemic, there are still scammers out there, even some that are targeting those who are in need of masks. Our Nora Bettis looks at those claims, spoke with the Better Business Bureau, and has that report.
This is the time when scammers when they really come out in full force, because they like to take advantage of people's vulnerabilities.
This company has over a dozen customer complaints filed with the Better Business Bureau. People who say they paid up to $500 for what they thought were N95 and N99 protective face masks. Katie Gallant, regional director for the BBB, says these types of scams are on the rise. Operations that are designed to take advantage of the panic and desperation surrounding the pandemic. Another type of fraud reported? Text messages and emails going out offering to expedite the government stimulus checks. Again, this is not a legitimate service.
We just want to warn everybody, don't click on any links that you receive, don't respond to any of these things, because the way that the IRS is doing this is you don't have to take any action to receive your money. That money is going to automatically be placed into your account by direct deposit.
How can you protect yourself? Here are some quick tips. Buy from reputable dealers.
Be really careful of any new companies that you've never heard of before, that you've never done business with, because it could be something like this, where they're just trying to take advantage of the situation.
Call the customer service number before placing an order. If you can't get through to a live person, stay away. And once you decide to make a purchase, take care when submitting your payment information.
There should be a little lock icon that's up on the website, right by the website's URL. That will ensure that you're entering your information to a secure site.
Nora Bettis, 3 News.